Right, welcome. Rachel Zegler has really put Bob Iger and Disney in a tough position with her nonsense rhetoric to do with Trump and supporters, basically lambasting them and wishing ill health, should we say, on these individuals. Basically, Snow White budget has been revealed but not revealed. What's been revealed is the minimum that Disney has paid for the movie thus far. There are actually more accounts to go through because we know that Snow White had further reshoots. So what this is has all been revealed by... Well, Forbes has done an article on it. They're not the people that have revealed it. Disney has revealed the budget. So if Disney films something in the UK, Disney has to do the accounts in the UK if they want to take advantage of the tax incentive, right? Those accounts are public. So up until late 2023, the accounts have been filed and they're public and we can look at them. And Forbes did, and they've done an article on it. And so this shows the bare minimum that Disney has spent currently. That's the bare minimum. But we do know it's going to be even more than what these accounts show because we know that Rachel Zegler went back for reshoots in the summer. So it's a very big budget. So Bob Iger, Disney, they're not going to be happy with Rachel Zegler flapping her gums. They need to enact parts of their contract which tells their actors to shut up. Because there are parts in their contract which stipulates things about damaging a movie and things like this on social medias and stuff. And Rachel Zegler is undoubtedly doing that. So let's take a look and see what the bare minimum is. Here's subscribe if you're new here, guys, and do turn those bell notifications on. I'd love to have you here more often. And there's a lot of people that watch the channel and are not subscribed. So, yeah, hit subscribe. Also, check that you are subscribed. Lots of people have been unsubbed recently. So, anyway, it says this from Forbes. Disney's revealed the cost of making its live-action remake of Snow White, and it's ballooned to $269.4 million. Again, that's only by the end of 2023. Only by the end of 2023. Now that's not also the entire budget because it's going to be a little bit less than that amount. I'll talk you through it. So you guys know this anyway. There's tax incentives. Some of you do. In the UK, there's up to a 25.5% tax break. It's not really that. They literally just give you that money back. Right? They give you 25.5% up to of your production budget just back to you. So yeah, that's it really. It's quite bizarre. So out of the 269.4 million, there's 25.5% returned on top of that up to. We don't know how much it's going to be. But not only that, again, it's still going to be more than that as well, remember? So you're still working with astronomical numbers. Astronomical numbers. But it says here anyway, and again, this is at the end of 2023. They've still done 2024. There's post-production work on this as well, because they went back for reshoots. There's still mountains of post-production work, which has to be factored into that budget. And it says this, it casts a dark spell on the outlook for Disney's entertainment segment, just as it was showing signs of improvement. That's actually not true. The only things that Disney's improving on are not properties from Disney. The movies that have come out that have done well are typically under the Fox banner. It's hilarious. So for the past 5 years, its bottom line has been dragged down by losses from the Disney Plus streaming platform, which finally reported its first profit earlier this year. And it coincided with the end of a string of bad luck at the box office, as Disney currently occupies the top 2 spots on the ranking of this year's highest grossing movies. The sequel to Disney's most streamed movie of all time, Moana, is also set to hit theatres at the end of the month, causing an analyst to take a bullish outlook on the media giant, despite it warning of a softening in demand at its domestic theme parks. I can't speak to that. I'm so sorry. Anyway, so Disney reports its fourth quarterly earnings today. Well, we've had that anyway. They weren't that special. And analysts are expecting earnings per share to increase to $1.11 from 82 cents a year ago, while revenues projected to rise to $22.49 billion, from 21.24 billion. So Snow White won't contribute to that until it's released in March. And critics who claim Disney is trying to attack woke viewers, or attract woke viewers, sorry. Yeah, so what's the main issue with this? Anyway, we'll just scroll all the way through some of this. I mean, there's many backlashes about this. I mean, they literally hired like a Latina for Snow White, which is just weird anyway. And I take umbrage with Forbes saying it fueled a racist backlash against Zegler. It's not true. It's not racist to point out that the original character is described as called Snow White because her skin is as white as snow. Right, this is not racist. This is just the cold hard facts of the story. If you don't want someone to point that out, don't hire someone who doesn't have skin as white as snow and would never have that because they are a Latina. Like, this is just obvious, right? Like, clearly it's just obvious. It's like someone hiring a white man to play Martin Luther King. People just be like, what are you doing? It just doesn't fit, does it? Obviously. So it's not racist at all. I highly disagree with that statement. But anyway, we'll scroll through some of this stuff. The movie's going to bomb. Like, it's just absolutely going to bomb. But here's where they break it down. So they benefit from its audio-visual expenditure credit, which gives them a cash reimbursement of up to 25.5% of the money they spend there. This is why a lot of movies are coming to the UK, because they're rinsing the taxpayer. To qualify for the reimbursement, at least 10% of the production costs need to relate to activities in the UK. In order to demonstrate this to the government, studios set up separate production companies in the UK for each movie they make. The companies have code names so that they don't raise attention with fans when filing for permits to film on location. The Disney subsidiary behind Snow White is called Hidden Heart Productions, in a nod to the shape of the latch on the Evil Queen's jewelry box in the animated original. So like most studios, Disney does not discuss the cost of individual pictures. However, we can see it because it's all financials. So here's the interesting thing. So the latest filings for Hidden Heart Productions reveal that by December 31st, 2023, again, they did more stuff past this. Disney had already spent so much on Snow White that its cost was forecast to be over the production budget. That's as per their own accounts. The movie initially finished filming in July, but extensive reshoots reportedly took place the following year, and then its budget ballooned all the way to $269.4 million. But there's even more. So it received $55.5 million reimbursement, which obviously brings it down to 213.9. But again, it's going to be higher than that. It had a magic touch as studios spend on local services such as security, catering, and visual effects, blah, blah, blah. Earlier this year, Disney announced that it plans to invest $5 billion over the next 5 years in films, television, and streaming shows made in the UK. So the reason why they're doing that is so they can get money back. Which makes sense, but sure, fine, whatever. So how much does this movie actually need to make? A lot. It needs to make a lot to break even. Yeah, a hell of a lot. So it says this: the financial statements reveal that Snow White peaked at 354 staff and total pay came to 29.6 million. At least workers are happy. But how much this movie needs to make if it is sitting at 213.9? Over $400 million to break even, just on its own production budget. It's not basically it needs to do over $500 million to break even, but it's had a bigger spend on that because they were still filming stuff in summer of this year. Right, we saw that because Rachel Zegler shared little stories on the set saying, "Oh, we're finished now." So this is going to be much bigger than that anyway. So we're going to get even more filings coming through. So no wonder Bob Iger's annoyed. No wonder he avoided answering any questions to do with Snow White on the Disney's earnings call. No wonder they clearly got control of Rachel Zegler's social medias and made her apologise or just wrote the apology on her behalf. Yeah, it's a disaster for them. So there you go. What do you guys think? I'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop it down below. Again, if you're new here, do hit subscribe. If you're a returning subscriber and you like what I do, please do support me further via my Patreon. Link down below in the description box. Take care. Bye-bye now.